We're going to start with the first half an hour with Joe and Brian and Pat discussing a little bit about StomaCloak, which is a new product.
Well, it's truly a pleasure to be here this evening amongst friends. I care about my community a lot. One of the reasons that I got involved with StomaCloak is because I was interested in helping a manufacturing community, which we are in Western Michigan, develop a product that we could share with the world. I think, as you all know, times have changed. Less things are being manufactured in the United States. What we do in Western Michigan is manufacture things, and we do a really good job at it. So I was excited to be part of this because of my relationship with Joe and because of our community. What I wanted to do this evening briefly, Dr. Salas told me to briefly talk to you about what we're doing with social media at StomaCloak. Sometimes when you're trying to solve a problem, I think it's important to borrow a page from nature, because nature's been in business for a really long time. And during the spring, summer, and early fall in Michigan, bees go out and they collect nectar and they collect pollen, and they work together. They change the nectar and pollen into honey. They store it in an organized fashion, and they preserve it. So the role of a beekeeper is to support this process by providing a sheltered environment for the bees. You can't see it, but inside those hives, there's a set of frames that provide an organized structure for the bees to put the honey in. So honey is interesting in that it's so durable, it's so permanent. The honey that you see here now, if you were to taste it today, I brought some samples if you want to try those, will taste like that in 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. It doesn't change. So honey, if you think about it, is really a preservation of the social interactions of the bees and the interactions of the bees with the environment. Honey's a story, if you will. It's the story of summer. As humans, we live in community. None of us live alone. We all share experiences. And our shared experiences are stored in the form of stories. And when I started working with StomaCloak, I thought, well, I want to share Joe's story with as many people as I can. So we started using Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And we were very successful sharing Joe's story. But as I became more and more involved in the ostomy community, it became clear to me that other people were sharing their stories as well. It wasn't just us talking about Joe's experience. There were ostomates from all over the world. They've coined a term for this. It's called the empowered patient, the patient that takes their disease process and goes beyond their disease and talks about how their disease affects them and tries to make the world a better place. So as part of my work, I started thinking about, well, how do we preserve stories in the digital age? I became aware of a young programmer in Jacksonville, Florida, named Matisse Verdun, who was working on a product called Permamarks. Permamarks is simply a way of permanently preserving digital information. In using this tool, we can not only collect and preserve a given story on the internet, but we can also organize it with other stories, and we can share it using social media tools. I think it's the future of what you're going to see with respect to internet preservation. So again, it's been a really thrill to be with you tonight. The take-home message, again, is that I think patient stories are important. I think we're seeing this through the empowered patient movement or the e-patient movement. And we're just thrilled that you invited us to share our story with you this evening. So thank you.